Fantastic morning, Wednesday, June 11th. Gonna start off today in the hot rod shop. So yeah, here we go. We're under the Mustang, just checking out the damage. Bernard got the floor straightened out, so that's good. And just going through everything to make sure that it was just a floor contact problem that caused this issue. How was the diff? You took it apart? The noise that you heard, but everything looked fine. There's no broken teeth or nothing bound up in the diff. And everything's good at the transmission, so really our only option is that it did bottom out and hit the floor. So anyway, stuff happens. So he's got to replace fuel lines, some brake lines, get the tunnel fixed up, and then we'll set a limit on how low the car can go. So simple as that. First time is learning. If you do it again, then it's a mistake. So carry on here. Lincoln, nothing's changed since the last time we looked at it. Coupe, they have been working on a bracket for a tank. So we had a compressor in this car, like a compressor tank, but then when we upgraded and put pumps underneath the car to run the show stands with reservoir tanks and run the show airbags, we have those two big compressors in there, so we didn't need a compressor tank. And when we needed to make room for these trunk actuators, we removed that compressor tank, but we still need to have some kind of a reservoir to mainly house switches and connections and stuff like that. So we've got this little Viair tank, and the guys have been modifying it and building a mount to put it in the trunk. So that's what they've got going on here. So I'm not sure where they're at. I think he's building a strap for it. Right now it's sitting in there just under friction. I think they're going to build a strap and latch, and then it'll go in the trunk, and that'll house the switches and sensors and a little bit of air, operate like the blowgun and stuff like that, but it's more of a novelty thing. It's meant to, you know, blow out the interior a little bit and stuff like that. Moving to the front, Carrick has got the intake back on and just waiting for the rest of the parts to come from Richard at Razor Customs. He built all that linkage stuff that you've seen, and he is now doing all the Cerakote and polishing on all the parts. So yeah, nice to see the intake back in there, ready to go, all shiny. So that's where we're at on that, and I'll talk to Carrick here. You're just doing that limit switch right now? Yep, just painted the bracket, and I'm going to mount this up and then start wiring it up. So should be a fairly quick install, then just have to check the measurement to make sure my switch hits every single time. Yeah. And adjust it. And that'll actually adjust our height as we want. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah, so we need a little more compression, we just move the switch in. Move this up and down. That's right. Yeah, perfect. Right on. So yeah, the S-Pod system does have load limits, but it wouldn't work to set up for closing the trunk at a certain depth. The actuators have limits at each end that'll stop you. So we don't have to worry about anything opening because we have more than enough room that the trunk lid can open for another, you know, foot if you really wanted to. Closing, we didn't want to pull the car apart and squish the trunk lid too tight. So he's got a limit switch on that, so we'll be able to adjust that, and that'll allow us to adjust the deck height of the trunk lid to hold the trunk closed. So that's super cool. So that's coming along well. So let's move on over here. We have this Escalade in here. He had some issues with a Borla exhaust system not setting the tips properly and causing a heat issue at the back. So we're modifying the Borla because he liked the sound of the muffler. So Corbin's just using some of the original stuff with the nice flex pipe and getting it tied in up front here with the original piping, and then from the muffler back we're doing all food grade stainless with V-bands, mandrel 3-inch to get out here, and then the tips go into here. So we're going to set the height of the tips, and then also the resonators that are on the Borla kit, he's going to V-band them as well, so the customer can remove or install if he likes, and then we can do a separation pipe so he can have resonators or not. So that's what's happening over here. A little bit of custom exhaust on this cool Escalade. Everybody's hot rod can be old or new, but this guy's is a newer one. It'll be cool. We'll go over here and see what's happening in Upholstery this morning. All right, we have some door panel action here. Wow, I didn't film yesterday morning in here, but he was just getting started on these yesterday. I think my last video I did over here, he was just getting the foam laid out for these. So yesterday between yesterday and this morning, I'm assuming he's got these door panels all built. These were billet aluminum pieces, or cast aluminum pieces 24 hours ago. So that's looking good. Good morning. These the rear panels for the 40?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Last of the door panels.
Yeah. These go on the door or in the back seat area?
It's back seat.
Back seat area, yeah, okay. Yeah. Cool, yeah, the door panels look great.
Yeah.
Went together pretty quick. That was like, what, a day for the Ford door panels?
Yeah.
Nice.
They're pretty easy, man.
Yeah.
Just gotta make sure everything lines up.
Yeah, they're basic, but still, yeah, that's what he wants.
Basic needs to be like perfect.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen basic not line up and it's ugly, so yeah. Cool. All right, looking good. All right, carrying on here. Obviously, he's working on the 40 right now, so there's nothing changed there. Bernard got the bottom trim on this yesterday, and I'm not sure if we're waiting on some more parts or what he's doing, but well, he's working on the Mustang, so trying to get that back together, at least figure out everything we need for parts, get a drive shaft ordered, and he'll probably be back on this. So yeah, and then this we're waiting on parts, and we'll head over to the body shop. I meant to see Ford yesterday for some stuff, and I never got over there. I didn't do any filming, I don't think, yesterday. We were just too busy in the office. So let's check out the 55 truck. Looks like they got her primered up yesterday already, so that's good. So that's looking good. Perfect. Lots going on. We need to move some stuff for you here. All right, just in the automotive shop. John's working on the 40 Chev TNT car that was built here many years ago. Got some oil leaks. There's the oil pan off, we got the transmission out, and valve cover's off right now. He's just working on that, and I believe Dave's doing the transfer case for the Bronco. There's the transmission out of the 40 Chev, getting a bit of a reseal. Typical leaks. And then this is the Bronco transfer case.
That is looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Leaky.
So they've opted to do the full reseal.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then this is the carrier out of the Eleanor.
Yeah.
How's that looking?
This is a closer inspection.
They were talking about the posi being real crunchy, so I don't know if it's just. Oh, it's a wave gear or wave track. It's got the angled gears, right? True lock or something?
True lock, yeah.
Yeah, so they're not a clutch.
No.
Yeah, they're always grindy feeling. Like ratchet type.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just worried because that drive shaft let go, just cover all bases.
Exactly.
It's we're pretty confident the drive shaft just hit the floor, and like a pop can, you put a dent in it and it's no longer strong, right?
Yep.
So good to check it out. Doesn't take much.
Yeah, I'll get it cleaned up better so we have a closer look at the gears and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Run another pattern on it.
The pattern looks like it's been wearing pretty good though.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And then that needs a new seal apparently. They're pulled back apart.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll let you carry on here.
Sounds good.
Oh yeah, the old needle bearings that don't stay together, eh?
No.
Get the use out of your assembly grease putting this one together.
Well, a warm day, cleaned up on it.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm sticking in the freezer.
Yeah. Cool. We just did a B&M crate transmission, I guess.
Yeah.
Cleaning up parts.
Shortening crates.
Oh, making bushings for the sway bar links?
Yeah, they're the one we got was too thick, and then just the gapping, so
Yeah.
shortening them.
Making them the right size. Perfect.
Make them work.
You mean you can't just buy everything from the parts store these days?
No, sadly not.
Yeah.
Apparently when things are made in the 60s, they don't make them still.
Yeah. Cool. All right, well, that's pretty much it down at the auto shop this morning anyway. Just did the air conditioning in this. We had to pull the whole dash out of that. So that was done, but it's got the goofy YF, I don't know what it's called, Freon, so we get that charged at the body shop. So it's either going there this morning or it's already been there. Having transmission issues with our GMC shop truck, and not sure what the Sienna is here for. That might be another fix auto job, not sure. Thing on it. No, I don't see any stickers on it. Like the truck, they have stickers on the windshield if it's theirs, and then still fighting trying to find a hose for that. Yeah, we think this thing just has a cracked piston because it works perfectly fine when it's cold, and we've only had issues with it when it's hot, and the fluid doesn't seem burnt or anything, so maybe it's just a cracked piston, and when it gets hot it neutralizes. So, and then this one we've redone the fuel system on it, and I believe it's been road tested a few times and everything seems good, so I believe it's just waiting for delivery to the customer, but I'm not 100% sure, but we will see. So yeah, anyway, that's it for the auto shop today. For now, we'll see what happens here in the near future. All right, just down at storage. If you've been watching a while, you've probably seen me down here before, but just going by memory, I used to have some extra hood springs, and we have a 64 Chevelle at the shop that has a hood spring issue, and we're having problems trying to find any in a decent amount of time. So here we are, gonna take a look. I think I might have seen them upstairs, but before going up there in the dark, I thought I would look down here and see what I find. I'm not even sure what I am looking at here. Oh, gauge parts. 68 ball model parts. Okay. Anyway, let's see what we see here. That is a spare alignment rack part. Those are carb rebuild kits. We don't need any more pistons and parts from something. Alright, not seeing it. They were pretty small boxes, I think, and then just some loose springs. So shift tunnel. Okay, yeah, that's Trans Am shift tunnel. More gauge stuff. Clutch master with plastic reservoir. Camaro Firebird. No, that's just an old throttle pedal parts. Okay, let's go upstairs. Need to get a little bit more organized around here. See what we can find. Cobwebs. Brake booster and master. Coil springs. Small alternator connection. Couple steering columns. Some shocks, 34 Ford frame thing, nothing. Seat tracks, and I'm like so positive that we have hood spring somewhere, but where? That is our question. I packed some up here. But that doesn't mean I'm right. Also, things happen so quickly that you tend to forget that things were 3 or 4 years ago in a real hurry. So there's one more room downstairs to take a look. Other than that, we might be SOL. And yeah, things aren't too easy to see in here either. But sneak in here, see what we see. Some seat tracks. Mirrors off of something. Oh, let's sneak back here. ones I'm looking for, I swear, were in a box. This would be too short. What's in there anyway? Oh, plow brackets. All right, well, this might be a wasted search. Doesn't look like I'm finding anything. All right, well, I guess I'll head back to the shop and maybe look there again. I did look in our back shed, but there was a bunch of stuff there, so maybe I missed them. But I don't see them here. We'll do one more quick look up front here. Just like I said, I swore that I had a set. Well, I swore I had a couple sets, like loose new springs and springs with in a box. It's all down here. Oh yeah, that's just all chrome stuff. Well, that's unfortunate. Drive all the way down here and not find what I'm looking for. Not sure what's up there. Let me try and get up there. Oh, what's here? Recon. Oh, those will be stock tail lights because we put Recon ones. So either mine or Kevin's. Yeah. Alright, let me take a look up there if I can get up here without crashing. Okay, small blocks, Chevy stuff, water pump, fuel pump, alternator, fans, and pulleys. Here we have a B&M tube, shifter cables, running master cylinder, e-brake cable set. Another brand new dipstick tube. I feel this tote was put together to go up and store it, or into stock, not into storage. We got some airbags, more shifter cables, poly fuel pump, actuator, almost the same as we just put in the coupe. Brake lines and hose. Yeah, this box I believe was meant to go up into my office for parts to be put for sale, not up here in the abyss. A lot of this stuff is just the inventory, not just forgotten about. But that is why we have a new parts person, so we can maybe not continuously hide things that we don't want to put away. So, although a fail, I did see everything we have here again, so I'll remember for a little while anyway what's here, what isn't, and I will go back to the shop and continue my search and see if I can find these springs that I know I have, because I do know that I have them. Where is the question? That is the question. All right. So yeah, I guess that's it. Trying to remember, have this slight memory that just came to mind that we might have thought that they were springs for the Dart. No, because the Darts have springs, totally different springs down in the fender. That doesn't mean we didn't think right. But the Impala that is back at the shop now, it's not in here. The Impala, maybe we thought they were for that car, And we were worried that if they were, that we would put them somewhere and potentially lose them. So maybe I need to go to the hot rod shop and ask Bernard, because the hood is on the Impala, and see if there's any chance that we put extra hood springs in the trunk of that car that aren't needed. Anything is possible. But yeah, that's poor Dart. It's been sitting for years, almost ready to go for paint. I think at one point it just needed to be final sand and paint. And I haven't seen the customer in at least a couple of years. Haven't heard from him in almost 2 years. It's unfortunate. He's left a lot of money on the table there, but also owes a lot of money. So we're gonna sell some parts to recoup the part money that he hasn't paid. So just kind of randomly looking right now to see if anything is laying around that shouldn't be. So here's the 56 Merc. We kind of used the same idea that was done in this truck on the 55 Chevy at the shop that Ford's literally painting right now. So yeah, so it looks pretty much identical to what we were doing there. So anyway, gonna keep searching for some springs. I don't see anything here, so we'll maybe see you back at the shop.